Okay. 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 Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Rita Egidio. I'm your host here on the Influential Creatrix Podcast. I'm in Economy of Words. I have Claire here with me today. Claire, my love, do you want to present yourself? Tell who you are and where are you at this moment?
Hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Rita. So my name is Claire Marie Thomas. I'm a medical doctor, and I'm in the United Kingdom at the moment. I'm in the country of Wales, which is a beautiful green, lush countryside.
Is Wales? Is Glastonbury in Wales?
No, Glastonbury is in Somerset, just south of Wales, but we do have another famous festival in Wales called Green Man, which you might have heard of, which is a lovely festival. So we've got some great music. Wales is a very artistic culture. It's very much about singing, poetry, art, music. So it's a lovely place to be in, and we're in a rural area, so it's a lovely place to be as a family as well. And we've just moved here. Actually, we used to live in London, in South London, in Brixton. So I worked there as a doctor for a while, and was there during the pandemic. And we recently moved here, experiencing, I think, a bit of burnout and a desire for a slightly different pace of life after the last few years of my partner and I both being doctors in central London during the height of the pandemic.
It's funny, It's funny, it's not funny. I have a client, one of my influential creatrix who are on my forward text, then I work with them. She is exactly a doctor as well, and she works now. Her target is burnout medical people, like nurses, and she
it's really common.
She helped them through a program to recover from that. So I'm really, really excited to.
Well, this is part of me practicing what I preach, actually. So as well as being a medical doctor, I'm also on the side for many, many years. I've been a coach and a workshop facilitator. Used to work mostly with student and charitable organizations, helping people around leadership and personal development. And what I'm trying to do now, since I became a mother, I wanted to try and combine my medical knowledge, my coaching knowledge, my knowledge of adult learning and personal development. I wanted to bring all of that together to empower women. And that's what I'm working on at the moment with my new project, which is called Conscious Haven. Consciousness being the art of awareness, of being aware of yourself, of others and the environment, and haven being a safe space. Wow. So the Conscious Haven is the safe space to explore that. It took me a while to pin on that name, but when I found it, I knew that was the one that really summed it up.
It's beautiful. And so why?
So I've been a doctor. I qualified as a doctor in 2008, and during my medical student years and my senior doctor years, I've worked all over the world. So I volunteered in Uganda, Nepal, Zambia. I've worked in Sierra Leone before Ebola hit, all sorts of places, Ecuador, and here in the UK. And everywhere I've worked, in every different aspect of the medical system, whether it's in the community and family practice or in the hospitals or in remote rural areas, what I see is the frustrations of women within that system and the mistreatment of women's health. And I think there are three main things that really really anger me, actually, and that drives a little bit of fire in me. And that is that women are either ignored, sort of told that it's all in your head, don't worry about it, or they're over medicalized, or they're infantilized, patronized, as if they're children, and told what to do instead of things being explained to them. And it's those three things. It's three points on a triangle of intense frustration around how women's health is managed. So we're either told to be afraid of our bodies, we're pumped full of medications when we don't need them, we're not offered support and treatment when we do need it, and so much autonomy is taken away from women.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm 41 and I had the TU. I had a how do you say, anti-contraceptive that is inside of your utero. The, how do you call it?
The implant.
Yes.
Or the coil.
The coil inside, ones that inside. And I decided to take out, and I was talking with, I'm in Mexico now. This was in a private hospital where it was really expensive. And she was saying to me, I asked her, do you think is everything okay? I don't have the idea to have another kid, but I want to know if everything was okay. And she said, oh, if you want another kid, you are too old for that. You need to have, you need to ask for eggs from someone else. I said, what? It's like, I'm 41.
Based on what evidence?
Yeah, based on what? Like, she was looking, she did a echo, and she was saying, oh no, your ovaries are still working and releasing and just releasing egg. And I was like, okay, why you are saying this to me? Like, I'm 41.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that, Rita, because that's the sort of stories I hear and I see a lot, and I experience myself as a mother. When my daughter was born, I was opting for a home birth, and had a lovely experience for about 36 hours of labor. Yeah. and then her head shifted and it wasn't going well, and I did need to go into hospital. And I had a lovely experience at home. My home midwife team were very much listening to me, and supporting me with what I wanted, whilst also informing me, which is as it should be. I got to the hospital and it was as if every professional that I met just wanted to strip me of my autonomy. And I don't blame those individuals. I think part of that is a sign of how incredibly underfunded and undersupported a lot of health services are if you're in public services like we're here in the UK, or how financially driven services are if you're in private services. Yes. But there, I would have, if I hadn't known what I was doing and I hadn't had the confidence and the knowledge that I would have had an emergency C-section that I didn't need. And my daughter would have had a lumbar puncture, a spinal needle placed into her spine shortly after birth, if I hadn't been able to advocate that there wasn't really good evidence for that at all, and that there was a more cautious and relaxed way we could approach it.
Same.
And that really heightened it to me then, as well as my whole experience of being a breastfeeding mother and struggling to find good advice. I was either given one extreme of advice that was so not based on any kind of evidence and was just so sort of, if I'd say, too far off the cliff of the wellness spectrum. Mm-hmm. So it was really crazy stuff that was not helpful and wasn't based on anything, on factual knowledge. And then the other end of the spectrum was over medicalizing my breastfeeding experience. So I only had two options. I could either go to a sort of wellness industry that wasn't really using any good evidence, or a medical industry that was completely over medicalizing me.
Yeah.
And I think there's a safe space in between where we can understand the evidence, understand the science, also understand the importance of holistic support, emotional support, the opportunities that we do have. So there's a term for this, actually. It's called integrative medicine. So integrative medicine is combining the evidence-based side of things with the sort of alternative therapies and holistic health, and finding that safe space in between where women can be informed to make their own choices. And that's very much the approach that I take with my coaching and consultancy, and with the retreats that I want to run with women, is to empower women with knowledge about their health. And when I say health, I mean mind, body, and spirit. I think full holistic health, empower women with knowledge that's based on evidence, that also integrates that holistic wellness sphere in a way that is safe and empowering, and really allowing women to set their own goals and move towards them with autonomy and feel in control of their lives. So that's kind of what Conscious Haven is all about, is offering coaching, whether it's health coaching or transformative coaching, or a mix of the two, depending on what the client needs. Consultations. So I use lifestyle and integrative medicine. So if somebody needs to be prescribed something, I'll connect them with the health service. or I can do small private prescriptions, but most of what I do is around lifestyle medicine and integrative medicine. So, what's the right nutrition for improving your periods? What kind of lifestyle things can you do to embrace your menopause part of life? And then the final part is retreats. So creating retreats that are accessible for women and are specific to women's needs around different points in their life cycle, whether it's menarche, so starting your period, motherhood, or menopause. So the first retreat that I'm running this summer is the Conscious Mamas Retreat. So I'm trying to make that space accessible for women. There are a few retreats like this.
Have babies already, or for women who are pregnant?
Yeah, women who already have children. Okay. There are so many opportunities for people to go on retreat, but they're mostly accessible for people who don't have children. Yes. Who can't, you can only go without your kids. And actually that means that women in this very vulnerable, challenging, complex time in your life, when you're often completely redefining who you are as a human being, and finding a totally new balance within yourself, is that early motherhood phase. These valuable experiences of retreat and holistic wellness are just not accessible to them. And there's I'm working with a lady, Claudia Saffa, who runs Holy Mama retreats. And she was one of the first pioneers to start running retreats where you can bring your child with you. And so I'm hoping to run some retreats here in the UK based on that philosophy, but integrating my own unique approach to integrative medicine into that, so that balance between science and evidence and the holistic wellness sphere. I'm just trying to hopefully transform women's lives and help them feel connected again to themselves, to their children, to other mothers, to other women, empowering each other, and also to the natural world, our natural feminine wisdom that we have as well. So I'm very excited about it.
I can see, and it is, look, I'm a mom of 5. I raised 6. I'm a mom of 5.
Amazing.
And I was mom with 19. Having my kid on the hospital alone was the worst nightmare for me. With 19 years old, it's insane. They start my birth process without the kid being ready, me being ready. They was a nightmare. And the second was slightly better. The third was perfect. And then I had one did need to go for C-section very early. So I have 2 premature babies, and all the stress and having a perm, it's very complicated. But I am taking a year of motherhood. I'm living in Mexico. It was not planned. It's not something that I said, I'm going to do this. But when I arrived to Mexico to evaluate the possibility of us coming here, I realized I didn't need to find myself, because I was totally drained I was giving, but I had no clue who I was. For 21 years, I'm 41, so 21 years, almost 22, I'm a mother. So I always tell the story. I was on Walmart with my car, and I started crying because I had no clue what I was going to buy for myself, right? And I end buying all the things that I don't allow my kids to eat. So it's a process. It's a need. A need.
I totally agree.
Before, moms were less moms on the sense, and they had loads of kids, and the oldest ones did take care of the kids. But then we came, and we need to be this perfect mother. We give, and the kids and like our value is evaluated for how our kids behave, how our kids and us.
And who are we in all of that? It's so easy to be lost. And I think this is where this is a really important part of this next phase of feminism that we're experiencing as well, this next rise of the feminine.
Anyway, I feel that power. I just work with women as you, and I have been interviewing, I think this is my 50th podcast on the last months, and I have been so blessed with my guests, as you are, because we are talking about things, and this feminine power is coming, and we are embracing, and we are doing something. All this
it just makes you think of all that lost opportunity. That's what I see when I see women who describe journeys like yourself, like all those years of lost Rita. You know, and I'm so proud of you for taking the journey that you're on now. I mean, well done to you, because I see women in their 60s who come to me in my clinical practice, in my NHS practice, my National Health Service practice, and they've been struggling with physical things, mental things, emotional things for 40 years.
And then they go away. They grow up, and many of them, they go to uni, or they just grow up, and you can love them as much as you can, but they will grow up. And many of them, I'm saying, because I have 6, like my oldest son start a fight with me. We fight, so we don't talk. And that was my baby, you know, and I had these expectations about them loving me for the rest of their life, because I lost my mom. So that is my story.
Me too.
I lost my mom when I was 10, and
I was 11.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I feel that.
Okay. So you know what is growing up without a mother? You don't have someone who guides you. Like for me, I did want to have kids because I did believe, oh no, they will love me forever. And then I did want to have many because I was scared and some could die. But this is the reality. This is the reality.
My dog's growling out the window. Sorry.
Oh, he is listening to us. So it is tough. And I know, oh my God, I know how hard it is. I know how hard not have someone who can just say, okay, you are burned out, I will take care of the kids and you go. You know?
Well, and I think that's it. It's the space, and this is why I use the term consciousness in my business a lot, not just in the name, but there are 2 things that are recurring themes in all the work that I do. And one is consciousness. So this idea of even being able to be truly aware. I think we're so often on autopilot. We're just going through the motions, just trying to stay afloat, just reacting. It's very hard to be mindful, to be conscious and aware of the meaning of everything that we're doing and how we're interacting with others. So that consciousness part. And the other thing that comes up a lot is values. So really knowing and living and being aligned with your own values, not the values that are imposed upon you by society, not the values that you absorb from others, your true values. And I think that's what I want to do for women, is to say, right, how can I help you to stop, to breathe, to be really conscious, to be able to have that space to pause and be conscious, and to connect with yourself and your true values, and then to take that consciousness and that values into how you're living your life, whether that's into how you're parenting, how you're managing your health, how you're managing your business, your work. Those 2 elements of consciousness and values. And actually that's the method that I use for developing my online and off and face-to-face retreats, is called the conscious values method, because it's about those 2 elements, whether we're talking about your menstrual health, whether we're talking about your mental health, whether we're talking about parenting. Those 2 elements of consciousness and values always underpin and weave through what we're doing. And I know this because I've been through it myself. I've been a tired, burned out, exhausted doctor, mum, trying to juggle everything, trying to be that superhero.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it's impossible. Perfection doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really key point as well, is one of the things that one of the reasons I want to create this safe space, this haven, is because I want to really be able to do that conscious values work. We have to get honest, radically honest with ourselves, and we have to get vulnerable.
Yep.
And share our vulnerability. And it's when we're being vulnerable that we're able to really connect to ourselves and to other people. I think there's this great fallacy, this huge joke that's being played on humanity, especially at the moment, is that we spend so much time trying to look like we're perfect, because we think that if we're perfect, people will connect with us, they'll love us. But the irony is that's not how it works.
The reason why the shame around motherhood is so big, or you are so scared of, is before, if I was not a good mom, people will churn me, will put me away, I will not
we'll take your
I will
children
be old,
away, we'll
I
lock
will
you
be
in
old.
jail,
Yeah,
put you in an institution.
Yes, I will be old.
We have
and
years. We have years of patriarchal repression and shame, emotional repression and shame to unpick. That even in children growing up, in girls growing up today, that's still present, so present for so many.
I have a story to tell you that proves that. I have a daughter. My daughter is 7 years old. Is the one, then is just, the others are 13, 14, 20, 22. So, but my girl is 7, and that is the tough part on this story. But Max have long hair. Maxine, actually have a boy's name. Max have long hair, and one day I was dressing her. She loves to dress up. So I was dressing her in something, and I said to her, we are in the room, and I said to her, go show to dad. And then I catch myself and I say, no, come here. Look to yourself in the mirror.
Show it to yourself.
Do you like it? Do you think it's for you? Do you feel make you feel amazing? Great. After that, you can show to other people, but your decision is done already.
Yeah. What do you value about it? Exactly. Absolutely. And so I really resonate with that philosophy of, if we can break free from these patriarchal cultures of shame and emotional repression, then that is part of the path to living more consciously. That is part of the path to living more synergistically with each other, as a community of women. And that by embracing our vulnerabilities, actually not running away from them, but embracing all our imperfections and our vulnerabilities and our true selves, that is where we build connections. That's where we build community. And that's the great irony of this perfect Instagram culture that we have, that actually we don't make a real connection with perfection.
I am a coach, and I teach digital influence.
Yes.
But the way that I do,
I need your help.
We are going to talk. I'm going to give you something. The way that I do it is, I have been there. I had an Instagram account. I used to be a DJ. I had an Instagram account with 112 followers, and I was exploding. But then when pandemic reached, and I didn't want to feed them with courses from social media, they give me the middle finger because it's not what they want, right? So I start from scratch. I lost my account with the T-Force. That is another story. So I start from scratch, and I guide women with a gift who are already successful, but they want to reach more people. They don't know what to post, when to post, they don't know, and he gets anxious, and then they post, run away. I know all that. And my thing is, let's not focus in millions. Let's focus in 10 people like it. 10 people like it, because it's not that 10 people, then you are going to find your tribe.
And it's that authenticity that attracts, and then it's funny that you are
here, because I bring in tapping and EFT. So we tap and we use EFT to break the things and make it solve. And it's super funny and interesting. Then we are talking about that because I'm hosting an event this tomorrow. It's a little bit too late for you, but you can see the recordings. It's at 1 a.m. for you. And we are going to do these sessions about social media and about telling a story and about communicating in a way that it makes sense to you. And then extra, I'm going to bring how to get clients organic. And then the next day is about money and money beliefs and raising your prices and finding your clients. All that things that are, so I'm really excited. But I want to give you as well something, 1 hour of my time where we can work together with no cameras.
That would be lovely.
And we call it the game plan is for a roadmap. And we are going to talk, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, and we are going to design a strategy for you. And I want to, before I end, I want to ask you, where can people find you? So can you share? I want you to share with me as well by email or through message. I want
Yes,
you
I
to
will.
share with me the links so I can add to the description of this video and
Great.
to the description of the podcast on Spotify and etc. But I want to know where can they find you?
So my website is still under construction. Hopefully it's coming soon. I'm just setting up my e-commerce shop, so it's all under construction still. But I'm on Instagram is conscious.haven.
Okay.
And I'm on Facebook as My Conscious Haven. And there will be conscioushaven.uk is the website. So just conscioushaven.uk. That's coming soon.
They can DM you
as well.
Send a message and ask for you to reach, or they can reach out to you, right?
Yeah, you can reach out to me through there. The email's on there. And I think the coaching and consultation services will be going live from May, June, which I'm really excited about. And we have our first Conscious Mamas retreat coming up this August from the 14th to the 19th in beautiful Welsh forests. It's going to be childcare in the morning so mamas can relax and engage with different workshops, family time in the afternoons, hot tubs under the stars in the evening while someone else listens out for your kids. We're going to be doing mothering circles. We're going to be embracing the spectrum from that evidence-based lifestyle, medical sort of science part of how to improve your life, mixed with the holistic wellness stuff. So we're super excited about the first retreat as well.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I want you to end with a quote. Say something, then tell us a quote that makes you feel happy.
Quote that makes me feel happy. So it's that conscious adults can raise conscious children, and that is our hope for creating a more conscious world.
Amazing.
I'll leave you with.
Thank you so much, my dear. I'm going to say bye to YouTube, and then I'm going to talk with you properly.
I think my dog wants to play.
Yeah, I know, I can see. Thank you so much,
bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe and comment what was your favorite part of this podcast. My name is Rita Egidio.